What is up, guys? We are back today. We are doing the Koyorad radiator install on the 2000 Subaru Impreza. I had gotten it over the winter and got a few basic mods on it. Coilovers, wheels, tires, strut tower brace, nothing too crazy. But today we are doing the radiator. I'm going to show you a few tools you need, a few different accessories. So I went ahead and got the radiator unboxed. Comes with a few different things. This is the part number. I will have the link in the description where I got it with the part number, but we are in the 2000-2001 Impreza 2.2 sticker, most important part. Just a warning, they want you to use the 50-50 coolant water mix, which is what we have. A few different tools that you're gonna use. This is a 1/4-inch drive set. Comes with the ratchet, a few extensions, and then all your basic sockets, metric. And we have a gun with the driver, just to make everything a little bit quicker. This is the funnel. It's gonna actually attach to the top of the radiator where the cap would go and be a little bit easier so we don't have to sit and burp the system manually. Yeah, and then this is a coolant that we went with. Basic. Nothing too crazy, no performance gains or anything like that, but should do the job. Also, one of the other things you'll be needing is a drain pan, just to drain the coolant into. And first step we're gonna do is get underneath the vehicle and go ahead and get the coolant out. So if your vehicle has it, you're gonna wanna remove the pins underneath the side, and then you're gonna wanna turn a little petcock down here, and that's gonna open up the radiator and dump the fluid out. So let's go ahead and get these pins out, and we'll get her draining. So I went ahead and got that pin out. It ended up just disintegrating into my hand. That's what happens when they're a little bit older, get a little brittle. So yeah, you're gonna wanna pull that back, and you're gonna turn this, obviously righty tighty, lefty loosey. And let's see, should be able to get to the point. It's getting a lot looser now. So we're gonna go ahead and get our drain pan in position. And let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can get her out. There it goes. Perfect. Definitely splashing a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and let that drain, and we'll be back in a minute. Now that that's draining, a little trick to get it to drain faster is you're gonna wanna open up the top radiator cap. That way it can get fresh air in and through the system and out through the bottom. So next step we're gonna wanna do is start taking off the top line. And let's go ahead and grab, I believe, a 10mm to get that off. Actually came off pretty good. Usually those things break, but it seems to be working good. So yeah, we're gonna pop that off, just do that. And I guess the reason why I am changing it is because if you look really close, you can see it's actually split right in the front here. It wasn't leaking too bad, but there's definitely coolant being lost throughout the system. But yeah, that's why we're gonna go ahead and replace it. So now that's off, we can go ahead and continue letting that drain out. We can go ahead and start taking off the front two mounts and getting ready to pull it. Well, obviously I have to get down and get the lower radiator hose off as well, and then the radiator fan plugs. All right, so now that that's still draining, we're gonna wanna go ahead and get the radiator fan plugs off. So what you're gonna do is push that little tab up and then go ahead and pull the plug out. Just work it back and forth, do not pull on the wires. So that one's out. And then you have another one over here. And you're gonna do the same thing. So you're gonna pull up and then push it out. Next, you have the lower radiator hose. So same thing, hose clamp, you're gonna wanna pull that out and pull her off the bottom. So let's go ahead and get that off, and hopefully it won't spill too much. Rip. All right, now that you got the radiator out, I would suggest taking both of them and putting them side by side. That way, when you're switching the fans, you don't get anything mixed up. So I got a 10 millimeter on here, and you wanna take out your expansion tank first. That should be those two. So yeah, you're gonna pull the hose out. Should be good. Unclip it from the top of the radiator shroud, or the fan shroud, I guess. So yeah, and that's just got a little grommet in there. It's got a little bit of coolant in there, so we're gonna put that in the drain pan. Yeah, and then you're gonna taking out the screws. And you won't need these because the actual Koyorad comes with new hardware as well. That's gonna come off. There are little holders on the bottom. Just gonna pull it up like that. Boom, that's good. A little bit of coolant on there. Just like that. So yeah, you're gonna wanna pull that over, set that in there. Lines up perfectly. You're gonna take the hardware out. And go ahead, remount everything, and do the same with the other side. Obviously, put that one on this side. Also, you're going to want to move over your hose, as well as these rubber grommets that go on the bottom post here. So you're doing the same thing to slide, swap them over, and you should be ready to go back in. As you've seen, I went back with the ratchet just because the gun is good, quick, fast, but it's not very accurate. I understand some people can do it and just like it, but I would suggest torquing everything down at least with the wrench, therefore you know how tight it actually is. One thing I almost forgot, I'd go ahead and throw some dielectric grease in the connections for the fans. They are a waterproof connector, but it can't hurt. So to get this reinstalled properly, you're going to want to take that hole there and this one there, and get those lined up with the two rubber grommets on the bottom, those two. Then you're gonna wanna slide them down in there. You're gonna wanna slide it down in there, and then start putting everything back on. So here we go. One thing I forgot to mention, the little drain on the side of the radiator, like that we originally opened, that is going to be loose from factory, so you're going to want to take adjustable wrench and tighten that just so there's no leaking through that hole. Alright, so now it's time we're going to go ahead and put the coolant back in there. I don't know, this kit that I got from O'Reilly's, definitely a universal kit, but I don't know. The best fitting one is really not good fitting at all. We're gonna go ahead and try it just to see. It's probably gonna spill anyway. But we're gonna wanna get the car down to riding height just because we don't want anything, air bubbles or anything crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and drop it down and start filling up with fluid. Alright, so now that has stopped, we're going to go ahead and get the car started, running. Hopefully we'll get it up to running temperature here in the garage so the thermostat will open and start cycling the coolant through. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see, it's already bubbling over. It's only been running for maybe 2 minutes. It's still cold, still really cold, but yes, it is taking some more coolant. Yeah, it'd probably take this time to go ahead and look underneath the car and check for leaks. I believe that is just residual coolant coming down. We're gonna go ahead and take it on a drive for a minute and then drive it back and park it in maybe a dry spot and check to see if there's any leaks. One thing I will tell you guys, this cap, they do not come with it. So, if you want that pretty sweet cap, you're going to want to order that extra. I will put a link in the description to all the parts I did use. But yeah, make sure to order that also. Well, maybe it's not the right cap. So, we're going to put the old cap back on for the meantime. Everything seems to be working properly. Temps are at a good level. And yeah, so it ends up working good. I don't know if you guys caught. I did go ahead and fill up the expansion tank just in case maybe we didn't get all the air out. That's going to help. It's going to be able to suck out of the expansion tank and fill up what it does need. But yeah, so it's running the normal temps. Maybe a misconception on getting a new radiator is that you're going to have a cooler coolant temp. And yes, that may be true for how fast it cools, but you're still going to be running the same temperature because you have the same thermostat. It's still going to open at the designated temperature. We're back to the house now. Take a look, see if there's anything leaking. So no, everything seems good. Definitely keep an eye out for the next few days. Watch the expansion tank, make sure that's staying at a good level. But yeah, let's check underneath. Everything seems to be good. Awesome, thank you guys for watching. I got a little teaser for next week's video. But yeah, maybe got some end lights there and some new sway bars. Got those back from Powder Coat and gonna go ahead and get those installed. Thanks, see you later.